What's going on, Salzburgs? The weekend before Memorial Day weekend. What are you going to do today? Today we're going to talk about real quick about memory cells. My dad was the best salesman. I love my dad. Passed away about, 3-4 years ago. And the memories that he left me is he was, after he worked for a lot of years, he became an independent, right? Independent business owner. My dad spoke 4 languages. I speak English, Spanish. I understand. I'm practicing my Portuguese, and I'm going to add Chinese and Arabic into the mix, right? But my dad traveled. He was a tourist guide, and let me tell you the best experience when he told me what he just done the week when I believe I was in a school. Remember, is how you make them feel. But not only my dad make these people feel. Look, and I'm gonna tell you the story. So my dad was traveling. I don't know where he was. I quite don't remember. He had a two tour bus. One tour bus actually. One is what probably like. I believe that was like about probably like 40, like 45, 50. I mean, there was like big. I don't know if it was a double decker, but anyway, he was actually used to he used to take people in double decker buses. People would hire him, and he was speaking a German so fluently that you couldn't even tell. Like my dad was, he was probably from Germany. He was so precise. My dad had, I mean, he worked. When he told me when he learned German was to a cassette tapes, and he was like literally like a clock, like repeat pronunciation. He had the perfect pronunciation. So what happened when I talked to people from I was speaking to a lady from Brazil yesterday, and kind of like speaking Portuguese and Spanish, and she said, your pronunciation is very, very good. So I was like, yeah, baby. So anyway, so it was in the middle in Mexico in the summer, like here in the Carolina, it's hot, but it was humid. Long story short, the bloody bus, like, crashed and just couldn't move the truck. Maybe 105 degrees, humid as humid can be. And my father had to make an executive decision. Safety-wise, I don't know if that was a safety move, but it was like my dad was regardless. Actually, was if you're practicing situational awareness, if you are in the middle of a storm, your number one rule is seek for shelter. So my father knew it's 110 degrees, so humid. Some of the people were old. What do I want to do? Do I want to wait 2-3 hours and sit for the new bus to come in, or I can take these people to the hotel? I mean, I got to transport these people and that was before communication. That was a long time ago. It's not like you call AAA and you call the guy and they're just gonna come and fix your truck and boom 2 minutes. No. You're talking about it. He was in a very far away. Highway, so my dad had it okay. So this motherfucker, my dad, love my dad. He stopped 2 construction dump trucks that they were empty. I mean, they were empty. My dad he talked to this guy. He says, look, it's hot, right? Everybody, Germans, they're like sweating because they're conditioned, they're sweating. He said, look, people, you have 2 options. Either wait for this bus, it's gonna probably take about maybe 2.5 hours, or you can just do what I tell you to do and let's go to the hotel. And he's like, okay, Mr. Roberto, let's go, man. He always called him as a mister. My dad was so anyway. He stopped these 2 dump trucks, or one, I don't remember who was one. I think it was 2. And he was in the middle of and he said, hey, we need to upload all these suitcases. That's on my father. He had a lot of back troubles, and I don't know. I don't remember if they had suitcases or not. I don't think they did have. They didn't have suitcases, so they just he just stopped these buses in the middle of nowhere, dumped these Germans into the dump truck, and took them to the hotel. like cattle, pretty much, like freaking cattle. And after the hotel, he got everything, and everybody loved my dad. I remember seeing my dad every single day, every after his work. He had to do his taxes, because that's what you're independent. You got to do your taxes. And he had a bunch of envelopes with tips. If sometimes they were like 5,000, that's how he put my sister in college. That's what he put us to school. But seeing my dad work, I mean, if you're not proud of what you have learned and all the people have touched your lives today, I don't know what is. But I felt so proud of my dad, man. He's like, what did you just? And these guys were like, if some people were like probably like, but after that they were like, everybody. My dad used to receive thousands of letters, obviously in German, in French, like, hey, Mr. Roberto, this was the best traveling, because they were traveling across the country, and the itinerary was going for going to the beach, going to Chichen Itza, going to round towns. But my dad always took these people like there was not in the itinerary. Yeah, okay, so we have well, we have an hour, and obviously they tipped the bus driver. My father was making sure that everybody was taken care of. The waiters, the bellboys and the hotel, and my dad was so respected. My dad would come to the fucking hotels, everybody like the General Petraeus was coming into town, because he was bringing people, and he was to make sure that the breakfast bar were ready. And Germans, if you tell a German, okay, we're gonna be going out 8 o'clock in the morning, these motherfuckers, they were ready at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they were ready to go, because they paid a lot of money to be there, right? And my dad knew it like either year, because my dad used to be in Europe, so he knew these guys were punctual. Some dudes, but you tell them, okay, we're leaving at 8 o'clock. These guys were in the lobby at 7 o'clock, ready to go. Because my dad did such a good job. I remember one day, I told him that I wanted to sell a silver. The best silver in the world comes from Mexico, brother. And the mines in Tasco Guerrero. In the middle, like in the mountain, high altitude, Tasco Guerrero, the most beautiful town, the most beautiful eclectic city that you ever seen, right in the mountains, and it's just like breathless. Man, I miss so much my dad, but he was a badass fucking salesman. He took care of his people. Like when he was doing his tips I was like, I never seen so many, and I never seen so many dollars, so many cash sitting on the table. And the biggest mistake my dad did was like, useless brothers, that they just bunch of losers, and he helped a lot of people. And I don't know, me, I said, if you, and unfortunately, I think he died. I don't think I don't know. He may not. He lived with my sister for so many years, and I think he wanted to see his granddaughter to grow up, and I believe that was his future, the whatever. But seeing my dad work when he was in the pyramids, and I traveled with him a lot. But that story of these dudes put it in a dump truck in the middle of the highway, and they were just so excited. They were all sweaty, and they would probably smell like dirt, but they were like, man, what? And see, that's the problem with most people. Stop worrying about the technology, the AI, whatever the case might be, dude. I purchased a vehicle not too long ago from a small dealership. They did a good job, but the clothes they finalized, they messed up my license plate. And these guys are lucky that I work from home. I never got a call from hey, by the way, did you got your I had to actually, I'm just getting you a new license plate, which basically I paid the license plate myself, because I gotta pay the taxes here in Carolina, so I had to temporarily, the license plate just to get a sticker, right? But I never got a call. The follow-up. The follow-up is in the final is in the follow-up and right after the sale. Like my dad always, like when he was traveling, he was just like, okay, I'm gonna take you this, and every time they were getting, do you guys go on a snack? So he was just basically stopping the bus, and my dad was the first one to come, and Kaibo hat, Kaibo boots, and he was like, his presence was like, everybody was like, oh shit, Mr. Roberto is coming here, like, attention! General Petros was coming to dine, and I remember one time he chewed one of those waiter, because he was like, because these guys were paying and they were tipping good. Some people were tipping good. They tipped my dad a lot of money. But he knew tourism, he knew ecotourism, he knew solar. He's a, son. He has, so much stuff. Solar is going to be the one of the big industries, which is already, yes. But my dad knew how to take care of people. Even if you have a small shop, I don't care if you sell coffees out of the fucking street. If you take care of a customer and you give them something to come back to you, that's what I'm building my online stuff. I decided not to do real estate. I'm going to build my own online shop, and I might do some retail later on, maybe a brick and mortar. But you know what? I'm in control. So I'm excited. It's just, I'm in awe. I'm just like going back to memories, and I'm telling you this because when my father did it in his early days of treating other people better than probably he treated himself. But don't get me wrong, my dad was pretty well compensated, and we used to go to some hotels, and that my dad took people in it, and they were giving it like free rooms, like free food, like free snacks. My dad used to come home with bottles of scotch, and people were sending him packages. People were sending him money from overseas. My dad, and letters and postcards, and my dad was, and my dad, if my dad was a robot, he would be probably still alive, man. I'm telling you, man. He treated people. He had a lot of demons in him, but my God, when he was working, there was nothing he could have not done. He was a beast, man. My father was a beast, man. And you don't want to fuck with my dad, that's for sure, man. He used to beat me up. He had a lot of problems with alcohol, but hey, I don't regret it, I don't regret it for a minute. The times that I spent with him, and seeing all these places that most of probably you will never seen. I don't know, but if you have time to do something for yourself, like today, like you can, like unfortunately my dad didn't take care of his health. I was like, my number one priority is not money, is how can I take care of my health, how to take care of my body, that I'm here like 30 more years or 40 more years, right? I'm 52. I would like to be here another 30, 40 years, man, maybe 50, why not? So I got to take care of myself. The problem most people have is the mindset, right? You spend half of your day worried about what other people are doing instead of, you know what? I'm going to start my own business. Do it. Do it now, man. I'm listening to a tape when I walk, and you never tell anybody, you never tell nobody, man. At the moment you tell even your best friends, your best friends, man, no, I don't think it's so. I always had that vision that I always did what I had to do anyway. But at the moment, sometimes I start telling people, that's going to be impossible. No, you cannot. No, man. But mind you, I'm probably the only one in my family. Actually, there's quite a few now. Finally, they're starting to immigrating to live in different countries. But, I was talking to my wife yesterday. I said, I feel pretty damn successful. I feel like $1 million, baby, right? Because we all have the power of succeed. No, because we always worry about what other people are doing. Oh, you got to meet certain conditions, and I thought about, okay, so I'm going to real estate. I'm gonna belong to a broker that is not even my brokerage, right? So I gotta be I'm gonna be the trainee, right? Like, or the probie, like if you were like if you're a fireman, now you gotta be like, and then you gotta prove. I mean, you basically, your business cards, the way you pose, the hot things you say, the way you dress. There's always gonna be limitations, and I hate limitations because I am limitless. I decide if I build my business, I don't have to tell people, man. I can probably say whatever I want to fucking say. But in a good way. I'm not, cussing or other people. I'm just like, I cuss a lot, but you know what? I feel alive. I feel powerful, man. But I feel like I'm just getting started, man. My ex-wife just retired, and I was like, retired? What's retired? And hey, everybody make their own decisions. But I think I still, people are retiring, and I'm just getting started, right? People, and that's the great thing about sales. Don't think about it. I remember when I started tourism, I have a degree in tourism business management. I don't know what traveling is here to stay. Traveling, and there were people like, oh my God, when I was telling people what I was going to do, oh, the tourism industry is so saturated. Talking about, tell the guy that built Dubai that is so saturated. People are still building, and the kingdom of Saudi, and there's going to be no long from here that Iran is going to start building a massive infrastructure. I don't know what's going to happen, but anyway, I just feel like, the world had changed so much. I said, well, what are we doing now? Let's build this, like the tourism industry. So what I started, that's why, careful what you tell people what you're going to do. Oh, it's so saturated. There's already too many, or too many lawyers or too many salesmen. No, brother, I'm telling you, for every salesman is created, there's 20 to 100 to a million that are going out of sales because they're tired. They don't know how to talk to people. Because sales business is the toughest business in the world, because you got to constantly understanding a lot of factors. But you got the money in sales is so ridiculous that the only thing you got to do is just pay, regardless of the product. You just got to take care of people. The before, the after, and the after. A year they buy from you, it depends where they buy from you. Hey, Mr. Johnson, how you enjoying the product, brother? Hey, we have this new product, but I'm gonna send you a sample. Just take a look and let me know, brother. Either to an email list or sending them a postcard or a letter. Write some things down, and it's just there's still people who write. I remember one of the coaches used to, and probably he probably still does. He used to write a handwritten letters to the new VPs and congratulate them to to promote, and at that level, the regional vice presidents, and by hand. And sometimes he used to send in a book, and some companies, because they're all independent. Some, I used to work with a guy, man. They used to always, like, even if you were showing up, if you were like show the intent that you're in the business, these guys were giving you hats. There's always a reward for that. And the problem, a lot of salesmen fail in the business of sales is because they never reward themselves. Like if you do a sales, I don't know, you make 2 cents. You got to celebrate those 2 cents that you make $1 million, and take care of that customer, right? But man, it's just that's simple, man. People complicate too much, man. People complicate too much, and we're gonna do And the problem too, we got a lot of people that were sitting very comfortable. Maybe they were hiring as a sales people, and they were paying them a good salary. And the only thing they do is just go into, talk in the copy machine and chilling, and drive the company truck and not making any sales calls. So they were like, now the reason, the great thing about, the technology is now they're actually measuring your progress. So it's not like, everything is like now they can tell if you're in the calls like I do, you can tell, how many calls you make to the day, how many contacts you made, for how long you talked, for how long you were on the phone, how many people you talked, and how many pieces of business you close on a daily basis. And those are the metrics, right? What doesn't get measured doesn't get done. That's why all these, people they were hiring as a big, salaries, they're like, what are we hiring these people for? Anyway, that's another story. Have a great afternoon. Go help somebody that can never repay you. Don't worry about the gas. When I remember when the gas was $3, people were complaining. Now the gas is a little more expensive. Don't complain. Don't complain about the gas prices. Make more money. Talk to more people. Assume the sale. Assume the close. And you'll be the most successful salesman in the country and in the world. Take care of people. Take care of yourself first. Pay yourself first, right? But treat the people that they have so much experience dealing with your business that is like they're dealing with, I don't know, Zuckerberg directly, or they're like talking to Al Pacino or Denzel Washington. You're like, man, at those minutes that I spend with nanny, whatever the case might be. So 8:22 is this high. It's getting hot. Woo! It's 8:22. I gotta give in the phones at 9 o'clock. It is hot, but it's so good, man. You gotta go out there and get the sweat going on. I'm gonna do another round, and I'm gonna go out there and sweat. It's good for your body, good for your pores, good for your heart. You air yourself and just, man, it feels good, man. Let's go. Go help somebody that can never repay you. Help somebody. That's the key.